Today, I want to introduce you to one of my favorite trading toys, the Momentum Roller, or the MoRoll for short. I originally made this years ago with no plans to sell or share it at all. I made it for myself so that I could visualize and help predict the ebbs and flows in the market. So here's what I see when I look at a chart. Even if the market is trending, the market doesn't literally go straight up or straight down. It goes through these little up and down waves. Price will extend, roll back the other way just for a little bit, and then roll back. It almost looks like little breaths to me. It's like inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And as traders, we're looking to make a speculative bet on what's coming. So I'm looking at what potential turns the market can take, and I'm always kind of visualizing what could potentially come next on the charts, what shapes could fill in, what shapes could fail or break out, that sort of thing. I like my charts to be really super clean as possible. So if I add an indicator, there's got to be a damn good reason to add it. And in this case, if I have something that can help me visualize these little cycles and breaths that the market goes through, it can help be a guide for me for when it's time to enter or book profits. So the MoRoll won't tell you exactly when to enter or where to put your take profit and your stop loss, but it'll give you confirmations for moves that you're looking for. And it kind of gives us some insight into the momentum behind the candles so that we can make confident decisions in our trading. When I created this, I was heavily focused on multi-time frame strategies and analysis. And I made a few multi-time frame tools, during this time, but this is the one that stuck. And I'm basically using a waterfall strategy concept or a bottom-up multi-time frame analysis to watch for momentum to begin to roll over. I'm really a big fan of multi-time frame analysis. The idea is pretty simple. I want to watch for signs of momentum rolling over on lower time frames to help me anticipate the move on the higher time frame I'm on, even if it's a small intraday time frame like the 5-minute. So I designed this tool around the 5-minute and also kind of the 15-minute intraday charts, but it can be used on the lower time frames as well. At a point, you'll kind of run out of lower time frames to watch. And as with anything in trading, the lower the time frame, the less reliable and more noisy the signals are. I originally developed the MoRoll on TradingView, but I mostly use NinjaTrader for my trading platforms. So I rewrote this tool for NinjaTrader. And there are some small differences, but the formula is the same. So I'm going to show you on NinjaTrader first, and then we'll take a look on TradingView. I'm not paid to promote either platform, but I do need to trade and chart somewhere, and that's where I'm at these days. I am an approved NinjaTrader vendor, and TradingView doesn't have a developer program, so I'm working with what I've got here. But all right, here is the MoRoll on a 5-minute chart. And I've also loaded the magic levels, which is another indicator that I created for myself that I was peer pressured into sharing. And I'll cover the magic levels more deeply in another video, but I wanted to show you kind of some context and how I use the MoRoll for confirmation at support and resistance levels or pivots. And of course, I trust these and the math behind them, and I'll improve it if I don't. But if you have any other pivots or levels that you love, try the MoRoll with those. So when price reaches a level, I'm looking for signs of either a breakout or a rollover. And the MoRoll can help me here and show me if the market is having a lot of strong momentum or if it's weakening and getting ready to roll over. The MoRoll doesn't repaint, so the lines under the previous candles are set once that candle completes. But the current candle can have lines kind of dancing around. So what I'm doing is I'm watching to see if the lines roll over. Sometimes they'll roll over one at a time in an orderly fashion. Sometimes they will shift kind of all together at once. And sometimes they'll attempt to roll but can't. So they'll just kind of be moving back and forth in a little bit of a zigzag, a little bit of a mess. These are all clues that the market is giving me to help me solve that big challenge of when and where to enter with a good chance of profit. When we reach a level and the momentum lines are rolling, it's showing me that momentum could be dying and it's not as likely to make it through. If we reach a level and the lines try to roll but can't hold the roll, the momentum is still favoring the trend and the level is less likely to hold. That's one way I use the MoRoll. Another is watching the rollers in relation to the zero line. The market basically has three modes: trending up, trending down, and moving sideways. And traders love to have some kind of bias in the market, so we know if we're going to look to favor some long or short trades. If the MoRoll is favoring one side of the zero line, it's favoring one side of the trend, and so am I. If the MoRoll rotates while the market makes a move, but can barely hold on to the zero line, that's a big clue on direction. If a move barely makes the zero line and begins to roll back over, that can literally be money. If this happens at or near a level, let's go. You can also watch volume. So strong volume with strong MoRollers is a good sign for trend. Momentum with weaker volume often tends to have the rollers kind of fall apart. So you may have learned to watch for high volume candles for breakouts, which is what the MoRoll is confirming as well. So you can see how the trending MoRoll lines can really help me see when I have a good potential spot for an entry or an exit. And I'm using price action for my actual entries and exits, so I have really clear, actionable places that are real in the real market of where to put my stop and take profit. And I'll link some entry and strategy videos for you, but when I get one of those good entry signals from price action, plus a confirmation from the MoRoll, I have a trade with a higher probability of success. On the other hand, sometimes the rollers can look like a jumbled up mess. And if trending rollers show trend, what do you think messy rollers show? A messy market. Messy, choppy rollers are a visualization of a messy, choppy market. There's indecision between the time frames. And I'm not going to be hard on myself when I'm struggling to find an entry or a play in these conditions. I'll focus on something else and wait for the market to get its act together or look for another market to trade. All right, let me take you inside the MoRoll and show you the settings. First on NinjaTrader, because I prefer developing for and trading on Ninja. And to be honest, the way the programming works with NinjaScript, I was able to make it work a little more smoothly on the lower timeframes on Ninja. You can create an account and try out their software with a free license if you're curious. There are paid licenses if you want to get your commissions down and get some advanced data, but new traders don't need any of this. Anyway, here are the settings. You can ignore the plot colors at the bottom. They get overridden by the MoRoll settings here at the top. So the period length is how many candles to look back. I have always used either 20 or 21, but you can play with this if you want, kind of experiment and see what works for you. On NinjaTrader, the only thing that you really need to mess with possibly are the color settings. The NinjaTrader MoRoll will calculate everything off of the time frame for your data series. So if you're on the 5-minute chart, it's going to give you the correct set of 5-minute MoRolls. Same for the 15-minute or the 1-minute. So I'll pop over to TradingView and show you the settings there. It's basically the same. We got the midline color and the MoRoll colors. There are a couple of extra options though. The way that TradingView works, I'm not able to reliably make multi-timeframe calculations automatically. So you need to select your timeframes. The 5-minute chart is my favorite with the MoRoll and in general for intraday charts. So the settings default to what I will have on the 5-minute chart, with the 5-minute being the largest time frame and stepping down from there. If you use the 15, you'll want to set the 15 as your highest time frame and step down from there. And if you want a faster chart than the 5-minute, same idea. Start with the time frame you're on and move down. On TradingView, I've added a background fill for the plots. I don't personally use this, but I wanted to see what it would look like. and I left it on there for anyone else to play with if you'd like to also. In NinjaTrader, this was causing a lot of performance issues, so I cut this feature, at least for now. If you want to try the MoRoll out yourself, of course, I'm offering a free trial. Who doesn't love a free trial? And I thought long and hard about the price structure so that it would be fair to both you and me. And I hope you like what I came up with. Personally, I'm always feeling nickel and dimed by trading tools and services, and I need things to be simple for both of us. So if you become a Trading Ranch premium member, you get access to all of my toys and tools. And that includes what I have ready now and the new additions that I have coming. You can use these tools on either or both platforms. I'm not going to go out of my way and try to charge you for both. Although there are some future scripts that will be NinjaTrader only. I'll explain more about that when we get there. But if you don't like memberships or you don't care about the extras like the Trading Ranch community, you can get these indicators individually for NinjaTrader. I'm only offering the lifetime licenses on NinjaTrader for now, and I kind of expect it to stay that way. But what I've done is for a one-time fee, you can have access to the MoRoll script that includes all future updates a la carte. And I am an authorized, vetted Ninja developer. You can look me up on the ecosystem. I'm listed on there and everything. So details and links to sign up for trials are on my website, 𝗙𝗵𝗿𝗺.com. You'll find some other gems on there, including free trading resources that I'm building for you as I get the chance. And don't forget to like the video. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them for all of y'all. All right, see you in the next one.